I thought. I needed a drink just running through the itinerary in my mind. "What sort of look do you prefer?" Elena asked. "I gave you the code to look at the girls online." "I already did," I said. "They all look decent. Find me one that won't embarrass me. Find me one that's smart, not some hick. And no strippers. My brother can pick out a stripper from a mile away." "Do you have a preference for hair color?" she asked. "Build? Anything? Because you're going to be around your family, you'll want it to seem natural." I thought of my last girlfriend, Logan. She'd had stick-straight blonde hair and not an ounce of fat on her toned, lithe body. And she'd been a total, complete, unending pain in my ass. "Dark hair," I said. "Curvy. I want someone who isn't afraid of a steak, and who looks good in a bikini. But not too good, if you know what I mean. I don't want someone who's going to have their ass hanging out in public. Tasteful, Elena. I need classy." I rubbed my temples again. I was hiring an escort as a date to my brother's wedding. Classy probably wasn't a reasonable request, all things considered. "I've got that," Elena said confidently. "In fact, I think I have the perfect girl. I'll send you over the contract. Send me that test result and your deposit." "How much is it again?" I asked. The fee was astronomical, if I remembered correctly. "The total for 2 weeks, including the travel, is $200,000. She paused for a beat. "Half paid up front, and we're cash only." "Don't you think your services are a bit, overpriced?" I asked. "I'm not prepared to pay investment prices for a rented date." "You're paying for a luxury product," Elena said, not missing a beat. She'd heard this 1,000 times from rich men who doubled as cheap bastards. "The cost breakdown per hour is $595. You pay your lawyer more than that, I'm sure, and he doesn't always bend over when you tell him to." If I'd been capable of it, I'd be mildly chastened by that. I let her continue. "That being said," Elena continued, "the price I'm charging you is our standard rate. I'm not gouging you just because you're a gazillionaire, but do feel free to tip generously at the end of your arrangement." I snorted. "Your escort is going to be the most beautiful woman you've ever met. She's going to fulfill your every fantasy, which in your case is being the perfect date for your brother's wedding. If you had any other fantasies—" She paused for effect. "She could fulfill those, too." She laughed again. "But of course, you're not interested in that." "Ha ha," I said. "For that price, I might just have to fuck her. 6 ways from Sunday." I made myself stop from forming a mental picture. "Of course," she said. "And once you get a taste, you'll really understand why you're getting your money's worth. By the way, all of our escorts are on birth control. We test them regularly to make sure they're in compliance. So condoms are optional. Her test results are part of the contract. We guarantee healthy, clean girls. So if you're clean too, you can both relax and just enjoy each other." She paused, and I squirmed, my cock stiffening at her words. It had been a long time. "Down, boy," I thought. "We'll see you soon, Mr. Preston. I'm looking forward to working with you." We hung up and I shook my head, laughing to myself a little. $200,000. But the promise in her words would make any man's dick hard. That was the point. That was why Elena's escort service was the most successful, the most exclusive on the East Coast. She was good at sales. And based on the pictures she'd sent me, her employees were pretty hot. I willed the stirring of my erection to go away. I was using Elena's service because I was in a bind, not because I couldn't get laid. I needed the perfect woman to bring to my brother's perfect wedding, so that everybody would leave me the fuck alone.
Audrey. A hot shower wasn't going to be enough to wash the date off me, but that didn't stop me from trying. My skin was practically raw when I finished. I didn't look at it closely, just like I didn't look at the dirty clothes.